All right, man. Welcome to the Portnoy Show with Eddie and Company. Dave, before we get into it, can we talk about Birddogs for a little bit? You like some Birddog shorts.
Oh, Birddog pants. I do. I love the Birddog shorts. I love them. I have 9,000 pairs of them. I've never tried the pants on. If the pants are as good as the shorts, we may have something here.
They also have the liner in them.
Yeah, so no underwear?
Yeah.
All right. These actually... good golf pants, too. How fire my legs look. My legs did look good in the shorts. I'm going to try on the pants. Comfortable built-in underwear. Birddog now makes joggers. I have those. One of the best podcast promos we ever had. Go to birddogs.com. Enter promo code Dave. They'll throw in free Birddogs whistle football. Not a fan of the whistle football. You remember the Nerf Vortex Howler footballs that whistle when you throw them. The best for tailgates. Birddogs.com. Promo code Dave. And they are. They're great shorts. They're great pants. They're great everything. Eddie, Barstool Miami hat, huh? So promo code Dave, birddogs.com, boom. Free Birddogs football, the ones that whistle. Again, I'm a Hutch guy. You will never take these things off. I promise you, they're kind of right. Like I wear them. I still wear the shorts around my apartment when it's nice. When I get back down to Miami, I'll be wearing them. So, yeah, Birddogs, big fan.
Go get some Birddogs. Yeah, Barstool Miami hat. 'Tis the season, right, Dave?
Correct.
When are you leaving?
I don't know.
In the air?
It's just, been so much shit going on here. Most of it not great, but it's hard for me. It's like, I don't know, I really haven't. My brain has been scrambled and all over the place, so I don't know.
So what's the word? It's been
like 2 days in front of me. I can't think of 2 days in front of me.
What's the word? So it's been like 5 days since the presser. Mood, what's the feeling? What's everything like right now?
The first wave, everything I've heard about Business Insider, their game plan, they hit you once, then they hit you again. And I'm hearing rumors they're going to hit me again. So it's depressing a little bit.
What's
having
the
to deal
rumor?
with this shit that they're just going to write another article, similar in nature.
So they withheld shit and they're coming back for
maybe withheld. I mean, who fucking knows? Because it's like they're again out there crawling for dirt. It's like they did this. It went wildly wide, tons of publicity, and the girl is actively being like, "We want more dirt. We want more dirt. We want more dirt." So who fucking knows? Because the two sources they had in the first one were both garbage, and I feel like I proved that. But to go down this dance all over again, sucks.
Do you feel defeated?
No, I'm just. It's a lot. It's like wildly fucking, in my mind, unfair what's going on. But I don't. Defeat is not the word. It's just again, we're gonna do this fucking again. So who knows? Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't have concrete proof of it. But clearly, if you're willing to print the first shit, you're willing to print anything.
Yeah, I would say so. I think it's, and we'll get into this again because there was still a lot more that kind of happened since then. And so, who knows? Hopefully this will be the wave, and then we'll get back to our original show. But you said before the press conference that it was kind of be like the leader gets sued. Did you feel that it accomplished what you were hoping?
Wait, what was that?
You said at one point, and I know maybe you were caught up and you were excited that you had proof to back up your claims, obviously, but you said it was like, I got something that's going to be the leader gets sued.
Oh,
I think
yes.
Maybe you thought it was going to be a bigger smoking gun.
I did. I was so excited because to me it was a smoking gun, and then I called the lawyers and attorneys, and they burst my bubble instantly. Instantly, they're like, that's not how it works. They'll never do that. In the history of bad hit pieces, it's unless you had something literally was like, we're lying to get him, they'll never do it. So I was so excited when I saw it, and it was just a huge relief because it's like, vindication of what I'm saying is the truth. But once I went to the lawyers, they brought me back to reality pretty quick.
They were just like, no.
They'll never do it.
Chance.
They're like, they did say if I had it before the article was published, I could have prevented it from being published. But once it's published at best, which they haven't done, is added in a correction. But it's so stupid the way this shit works. Like, they can justify now keeping it up because it's news. They made it news, but it is it's literally insane. They made it. They created it. I believe, again, I dispelled the two sources are just liars. Like, I feel like I proved that. But it doesn't matter because now it's news and newsworthy because other people in the world's talking about it. So that can be justification to keep it up, even though they're the one. So even though it wasn't news in the beginning until they made it news, now it's news so they can keep it up. Follow that logic. That's what I was told.
Yeah. So since like the Daily Mail and shit picked it up, now it's news. So now they
Correct.
can keep it up.
Yep. It's crazy.
That's pretty wild.
And even like now, they're going and getting all these, trying to get new people, new dirt based on lies. But like, it's just, makes my brain want to like fall out of my head.
What is so since then? So the Finsta was the big thing, and then after that, a couple more things came out that I think you said you wish you would have had in the press conference. One was the manipulation video.
Yeah, one of the subjects just being like, I lie and manipulate for a living.
And the other one was the Ava Louise girl saying that she
that's just so preposterous they used her. I don't know that made a difference. It was just so outlandish that quote, like, she's on the internet basically saying she lies about like sexual assault and shit.
And then the last one was the picture from the sister.
Yep. So again,
Nantucket.
they portray me as a guy who's running around like trying to scoop up 18-year-old girls in an unmarked minivan and shit like that, which is just not true at all, not even like remotely true. But there is a picture that was out there basically of one of the girl's friends, who Allison, and it literally is like 9 of my friends have been harassing Dave for like 4 days straight, just getting ghosted, and then Allison got invited over. I just put it out because, again, it's the opposite of what they're saying. Like, I'm not going after, like, I'm being heavily pursued. Like, I'm not doing anything creepy. Now, you can argue, hey, just by ever hooking up with a 19 or 20-year-old in your life, you're creepy at like 40. You can argue that's something you can argue.
And I think that stuff kind of helped in the court of public opinion, right?
I don't think anybody who's willingly looked at the facts of that first article can ever be like, Dave did anything illegal, immoral. You can't. Like, the facts, when you look at it, are very black and white. This is a hit piece with two sources with agendas, and like I said last time, if you took my name off of it and nobody knew who was involved, and you just asked people with like an unbiased opinion, I think everybody would side with me. I really do believe that.
What did you think of what I saw you quote tweeted Whitlock, his take on the matter?
Yeah, Whitlock said he believed me, but I should like only like date girls over 25. Silvana is over 25, so I wrote that back. And then people sent me Whitlock tweets talking about, by the way, like old things from Whitlock, talking about how he likes like college girls and shit. So whatever. I don't care what Whitlock says. I just thought it was funny because he doesn't know anything about it. And again, you can't argue that. If people want to be like, Dave should not, no matter what, if a girl's like dying to hook up with Dave, but she's 20, Dave should say no. That, you can have that opinion. I think that's like, again, as I've said, people are making it sound like the only one doing this. I think is a pretty common behavior for rich, famous, well-known people.
Yeah, I think his whole takeaway was that, like, oh, there's a lot of people counting on you. You can't be fucking around like that. I mean, I guess there's like a lot of people counting on a lot of these other people who are doing that shit too, right?
Yeah, I mean, am I going to be far more careful moving forward? And will I ever, like, obviously, again, I'm dating Silvana, but yeah, of course. But it never crossed, I wasn't doing anything wrong, so it never crossed my mind the decisions I make in the privacy of my own bedroom with 100% like consent is putting other people in jeopardy. That never crossed my mind, you know?
Mm-hmm. What would you give the press conference 1 through 10? How did you think?
Well, in the beginning we kind of I saw a funny quote. It's like very Barstool because I'm like fighting for my life and my integrity, my honor here, and I'm fucking still going after Austin, like taking shots at him. Not the beginning, we had some tech issues, but again, the facts I really do think speak for themselves. So I don't know, 9. I think most people watch it like, holy shit, this is a railroad job.
Yeah, I think people are kind of caught up in because you're being, there's a little erratic thing going on here, I would say. Would you agree?
What do you mean erratic?
Like, you're just, the Twitter feed is just constantly going and that. But what I keep coming back to is I don't think anyone knows what it's like to be accused of this shit. So to judge someone on how they react to it is kind of crazy. That's my takeaway.
Yeah, I don't think I've been erratic. I think I've been like, I went after Goodell for 8 months straight over deflated footballs. Like, I was doing press conferences, weird like things like tweets. So, I wouldn't say I'd say it's right on cue. And of course, nobody knows what it's like. I may have this like kind of exterior, but it sucks. Like, there's no other way to say it, that to be accused of these things sucks. And I don't think there's an ounce of like integrity where it's coming from. Like, these are people who've wanted to get me and haven't been able to, but it still doesn't take away. They've upped the ante and with heinous accusations without making accusations, but accusations.
What part about it sucks the most? Is it dealing with your relationship, dealing with the business side here, just dealing with clearing your name? What part is really kind of getting to you?
The relationship's definitely super hard with Silvana's, like brutal. And the business side. And it's like fighting for the business. Like, if this is something that sticks, like if people believe these accusations, and I don't mean people necessarily like who hate me, but if our crowd, which they haven't, and advertise, it's a tough thing. Like, they're trying to ruin the company.
Yeah, I think the press conference, anybody who was in the middle, I think if you couldn't come on to your side after that, there's nothing you're going to be able to do after that.
Yeah. It's it just sucks.
You're not, you guys, relationship wise. I thought it seems like on social media she's got your back.
No, it is. She's been super supportive. It's just stressful. Stressful for anybody. Like, no couple is meant to. Parents, couple, whatever, see the shit that's being like put out there, all the way back to like the sex tape shit. None of this is supposed to be public. It was never intended to be public. Nobody's ever supposed to have seen it. The only way I can exonerate myself is by talking about it, but it is not meant to be seen by your significant others. Like, if I had to read this shit about her, it would drive me crazy.
And I saw that someone you kind of keep coming back to. You keep coming back to Mina Kimes. I know that's because you said you respect her work and you think.
I thought she was fair, and she was quick to be like, "This is a really well researched article," and it wasn't. It just wasn't. It's a one-sided hatchet job, and she does have a history of. I think it was Dalvin Cook, somebody recently, who had some sort of allegations recently.
Dalvin Cook did
I know
too.
Schefter did a thing with
Dalvin
and
Cook. she the next day, she's like, hey, before everyone makes a judgment, read both sides. She did do that. She has not done that with me. Now, I also heard Dante told me she's like best friends with Sarah Spain, so I didn't know that at the time. So maybe not as unbiased as I thought.
Yeah, we'll see, I guess.
You don't even have to say agree with me, just there are two sides.
Yeah, definitely there are. And then I saw you're kind of going at the Morning Brew, the Twitter account guy. So the guy who runs it, you got into it with him before.
Yeah, well, Morning Brew is owned by Business Insider, and they have a bunch of tweets that essentially is what they've done to me, I feel like, which is, hey, throw as many arrows. You don't have to be accurate, create controversy, basically lie, and that's how you increase your following and monetize.
And I saw that email we got this morning about do you think that was really Blodgett who responded?
Oh, yeah. I have no idea. It's from his email. Maybe It was like somebody said they unsubscribed, and he's like, well, he's rich. They're like, I'm sorry you feel that way. He's rich and he's famous and newsworthy. And these girls like came forward with credible accusations and were afraid of repercussions. First of all, they're not credible. Those two aren't credible. Those two are not credible. But who knows?
Now, have either of them reached out to you at all or no?
Those two, no.
No.
Nope. And I
No
haven't
contact?
No, there's been no contact.
Okay. So, all right. I mean, I guess that's kind of
Yeah.
that's kind of it. There's really no way to end it, right?
No, I mean, again, no, there isn't. Not right now. It's like for right now, we just wait and see what their next move is. This is, and Gaz said it earlier, and it's what I've been fearful of this entire time, but it is what it is. It's like you look at, and nobody knows what happened with Deshaun Watson, right? Like, nobody knows the truth. You know, though, all of a sudden there's one accusation and there's 40 accusations. Like, is it real? Is it fake? Are people piling on? Is it money? Like, that has always been, I can't stop people from making accusations. And we had advertisers who got cold feet in the beginning. They get threatened. It puts everybody in a tough spot. And how do you stop? I couldn't stop those two, even though they weren't true. So how do you stop things? You can't really. You're just, that's the fucking society we live in right now. It's like there doesn't seem to be repercussions for just making false accusations.
Yeah, I guess we'll just see what happens because, like you said, it sounds like another one's going to come out, and then
maybe who knows?
There's another one that we know of, though. Obviously,
the Reeves guy,
New York Magazine.
That one's supposed to be toxic workplace. So, like, in anybody who doesn't think these two are coordinated out of their mind, they started at the same exact time, and they were due to drop at the same exact time. I don't know if Reeves has delayed a little because of what just happened with this one, but like Trista was reached at, like, the Reeves tried to interview Trista and told her when it was dropping. Like, she's like early November. So, I mean, this was like a coordinated thing. And I happily talk to Reeves. Everyone's like, why are you going to give him the time of day? Because no one I've hated has ever sat down and talked to me and had a discussion about the accusations. I'm sure it's everybody who hates me who he's interviewed. But I wanted it on camera and video. I mean, audio, video. I want both. Like, he didn't want to do the video part. I don't know why.
So what was your reasoning for not just accepting audio? Don't you think your point could have been proven from just that?
No, because I don't have a great way to disseminate just audio. Like, we are pretty much video. Like, so, all right, I disagree with something. You're just putting up like podcast? Like that, it is so much easier to disseminate video on social media than it is audio. Like, people, like, you can put a clip if there's something off. Be like, here's what's said. You put the video on Twitter or Instagram. It's way easier than just like a audio clip.
Mm-hmm. And he's been going at it for 8 months too. I don't think I realized that. And it's workplace toxic culture.
I believe that's what it is. Yeah, he was crawling around the shadows in Chicago when we were there. I should have confronted him there.
Yeah, I do remember that. So where'd you leave it off? So it's not going to happen. You're not.
I haven't heard back since I sent that last email.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, the research you've done, you've seen that he's friendly with a lot of the people who are against you.
Yeah, he's like him and Megan Greenwell. Mm-hmm. That's all you have to know. And he deleted the tweets. He was on McGarry's podcast. I mean, it's the same hit list.
And you don't seem as worried about this one, though.
Well, I know what it's going to be, right? Yeah. The same shit. Like, even this last one, the only thing people cared about was the sex allegations. Nobody cared about any of the other shit, which we've heard of zillion times.
Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of it was just a lot of these they just copy and paste old articles and they just put them in.
I even saw an old clip of Reeves, and it sounded exactly like what this could be. He was talking because he did a big hit piece on WeWork, And I don't know anything about that situation. So I don't know whether that guy's a scumbag, not a scumbag. I know nothing about it. But I did see, like, because people, like, he does video, and there was a quote, like, he's talking to an old friend, and the old friend knew that he would either be, like, wildly successful or, like, a crook. Like, a lot of innuendo. Who knows? I really don't know. You know, I'm not nearly as worried about the Reeves. Maybe I should be, because I don't know what he's going to say or dig up, but I'm not.
And people could just write what they want now, so.
Seems that way.
Yeah. Besides that, there was an article from the New York Post when it comes to the New York gambling license. And they had people in the article that somewhat alleged that your behavior and whatnot was related to
that's
Barstool
fucking
Jay-Z's
BS.
group. That
is fucking BS. I saw that article. That article made me mad. So the way the New York worked is you had to team up. You needed 4 basically companies like to bid together. And MGM trashed us a little bit. I don't know if DraftKings did, but it said they took Bally's instead of Barstool as the 4th like person. Who in their right mind would take us over Bally's? Like, it's not like once you get accepted, it's not like your teammates in the state, then you become competitors. So Bally's has no footprint, none. So who's going to bet with Bally's? We have this arguably one of our bigger, more popular states. If we get in here, we're going to be able to get people to play with us without spending money on advertising and doing. Who the fuck would want to compete with us? I don't know why they felt that. Again, when people like Dave's conspiracy theory, like, I don't even know what the point of that article was. Like, it makes perfect sense why we weren't included in that group. I wouldn't include us in that group either. So what do you mean it's because, first of all, these decisions were made long ago. It had nothing to do with the recent stuff. I don't know. It's just that was just like, it felt like, let's take another shot at Dave for some reason.
Was Penn disappointed that they didn't get in?
Yeah, mixed. I've talked about it. The tax rate in New York is ridiculous. It's 51%. I think it's like 15 or 16% New Jersey, to give you an idea. So nobody's going to make money. These companies that are already getting smashed and bleeding money are going to get killed in New York City. Killed. Like, they're going to have to spend millions/billions to compete, and then they're going to have to give all their profits away. So don't get me wrong, would I rather be in New York than not? Yes. If you're going to pick a state not to get into because of the tax, like, okay, this is it. No one's making money here. Nobody.
Did you talk to Ruben or anybody afterwards?
No.
And that was, so Jay-Z is with him, or Jay-Z's separate?
Yeah, Jay-Z's was part of Fanatics.
Okay. All right. So you said total bullshit. This was way beforehand. It just kind of seemed like a pile-on to you?
Yeah, it's common sense. There's not one business person in the world who'd want us in that group. It's like, hey, you can bring a great competitor or you can bring a rollover. They brought a rollover. And obviously FanDuel and DraftKings were going to get in. They're on the same thing. They're the 2 biggest.
Mm-hmm. Does MGM, does that fire you up a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. Like MGM, I mean, like, there's some bastions. We're talking gambling here. Like, go. I'm sure you do research on MGM, and you're going to find far more inflammatory stuff than what they got on me. So, but I got bigger fish to fry right now. But yes, that is for sure in the tickler file.
There you go. And then some other news that came out yesterday was Awful Announcing wrote a post that the San Diego State AD is concerned about the Arizona Bowl.
Again, this stuff, it's like, I'm sure the players aren't concerned. In AD, they're academics. If you just take everything at 500 feet and don't dig into it, I'd be concerned too. You know, they're heavy shit, heavy allegations when you read the thing. So they have every right to be. Do the research, and I don't think you'll be nearly as concerned.
Any word from the Arizona Bowl? They're
saying they have every right to, like, just be monitoring the situation, which is their duty, and they shouldn't do anything less. But I think as of now, where it sits, we're in a good spot.
So a month and a half, the bowl game is. You still feel confident that it will go on. Is there even like an out clause? Can that even happen?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, the bowl game's going to happen.
Yeah. It just kind of is what it is. We'll.
Yeah, some things are beyond our control, I guess. Like this article is beyond my control.
Yeah. All right, Dave. How was that coffee? Is that Black Rifle?
That is Black Rifle. Black Rifle Coffee, veteran-owned coffee company serving premium coffee to people who love America. Veteran CEO and founder Evan Hafner spent over 7 years on the ground overseas with U.S. Special Forces, CIA contractor. Evan even modified his gun racks during the invasion of Iraq to try and coffee anywhere. Brilliant. And I need it. I need lots of coffee. I'm not sleeping great these days, Eddie. We import our high-quality coffee beans from all over the world, roast 5 days a week at our facilities in Manchester, Tennessee, Salt Lake, Utah. The team at Black Rifle Coffee continually researching and experimenting with new roasting methods and coffee origins. Best way to enjoy Black Rifle Coffee is by joining the coffee club. Pick your perfect roast. How much and when you want delivered to your door will take care of the rest. It's free to sign up. Free shipping, discount on partner brands, early access to new products and club exclusive products. Go to blackriflecoffee.com/Dave. Use code Dave today. Get the freshest coffee in America shipped to you. Black Rifle.
Perfect. And I mean, it feels like there's battles going on all over the place. There was, in the midst of it all, John Skipper took a shot at Barstool saying that toxicity was proved last week.
Listen, I have built this company by being like blunt, brutal, and honest. And along the way, I've created a shit ton of enemies, and the enemies crawl out of their holes and take shots when things, which is, I would do the same, to be totally honest. Like, that's what I do. So I don't get mad at it. It's just he's so full of shit, he's got to come out of his ears. But whatever. I mean, I hate that dude. So I take your shot, Johnny Skips. What are you going to do? That's unfortunately the bet I've made. A lot of enemies. And I'd be lying if I said I would not take a shot if the shoe was on the other foot.
Well, I mean, yeah, you took the champagne bottle was a shot that you took in a similar situation.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, it had kind of
now, again,
over.
I feel like I've always said this about us, and with the exception probably of Ponder, who we talked about unsolicited, and I didn't know she held the grudge, we're always on the receiving end. Like, we don't punch first. And I don't even know, like, the Ponder, whether you call it a punch, because it was just a throwaway, like, segment that we were talking about that caused all that. But she is the right. We said it. She never did anything to us. But everybody else just, like, they throw the first punch, and then we hit them over the head with a wrench.
Well, am I getting it wrong? Where wasn't there a thing where we wrote a blog saying Ray Rice is an asshole for obviously doing what he did, and someone said this is odd for someone who posts smoke shows of the day? Wasn't that her?
Oh, yeah. No, that was her. That was her. But that wasn't.
Was that the first shot? I always
that
thought
wasn't
that was
really
the first
like but I didn't like that wasn't a real. I don't even know when that happened. Like that certainly was not why we mentioned her on the podcast. She did do that. We dug all that shit up after the fact. But I didn't know, like, she held a grudge. That may have been before. That though, was like, yeah, that did happen.
Mm-hmm. Gaz is in the room now?
Yeah, what's up?
What's up, Gaz? How are you?
I'm trying to get the audio to work here.
Oh.
Yo.
Any takeaways, Gaz, of all this feud? You've been around for a while. I always like your perspective on this.
Yeah, I think obviously sucks from... I know Dave on a personal level dealing with this shit is not something he takes lightly. Between the business, Silvana, all that shit. Personally, Renee, like it just sucks, obviously, around the board. But I think I said it when I said it on Twitter that day. I was like, I've been around him so much, and I've been in situations with him when there's girls around, and there's never been anything like this. So, I stand behind him. It's just I'm with him. I get stuck on the thing of like, what do you do when this comes for you? It's like there's nothing you can do, and there's no recourse other than defend yourself. People get up Dave's ass about like, why is he let it go? Like, fuck you. Like, you're going at the guy for his credibility and his integrity as a man. After all these years, and it's just like, what would you do? You're never in that shoes. Like, so Dave's always fought back, and if he doesn't fight back, the story just sits out there and lingers. Now, will people do research? Some people will, some people won't. But the whole thing's just bullshit. It's infuriating, actually, to have to spend time on it.
I'll stick by what I've said. If the amount of research that was done on me was done on anybody in a similar level of fame, notoriety, etc., you're going to find more in other people. Like, I'm as basically clean as you can be. But this is the world we're in right now, and the way I've conducted myself, for better or for worse, has created a lot of fans and a lot of enemies and has made me a fucking target.
Yeah, and I want to clarify too about the erratic thing. I don't want to make it seem like it was like you were losing your marbles. I don't think that was the case, but at the end of the day, and I think Gaz would say as well, it is hard to kind of go against anything you say because it's always worked out, right? Like your gut, you always say trust your gut, like you've always been right. So who is anyone to argue to say like you didn't do it right this way?
To this point, I have done it correct. I don't, like, my lawyers have all been like, you handle it perfectly. I think we didn't lose advertisers. I think we would have if I just kept my mouth shut. I mean, you got to do, again, there is a difference too between just the business. It's like, it's a very personal attack, clearly, and people just move on and get over it. I mean, as rough as the exterior can seem, like every time you log into social media or Twitter, like, just, you still have the trolls like rapist. It's like, it's wearing. I mean, nobody likes to see that.
Yeah. Does it appear like it's wearing on him, Gaz, from your perspective and knowing him so long?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when we talked, got the smoking gun, so to speak, I think you said, I'm so happy. Like, I don't know how many times I've ever heard you say, I'm so happy.
It was a big relief.
Like, you were just like, I'm so happy. And he never says, I'm happy.
Yeah.
So, it's just like a relief.
Because it was... And that's
it's
what
one
I said,
of those
like,
things it's like outside of, I got lucky with that and other stuff. There's no way to prove in these he said, she saids that I'm telling the truth. The only thing I can say is if I had a camera in my bedroom at all times, everybody would, with unbiased, would always be like, Dave's telling the truth. Like, it went down exactly how he said it went down. 100% of the time. 100% of the time. But there's no way to fucking prove it.
And everyone went bananas here, being like, Dave tells the truth. He's the most honest guy, which is true. And I think people went bananas with that. But that's why I kind of said, like, I do have a different perspective on Dave. Being out in Miami with him, I know how many girls are messaging him. I know when I'm in Nantucket how many people want to hang out. I know how much he doesn't want to have parties at his place. I know how much I do want to have parties at his place. Like, I get it from that perspective. So it's just like, I'd stand up for him on that thing 100% at all times.
And there's no doubt, like, people have seen, like, I've seen the Sydney Raines tape brought up. It's like Sydney Raines fucking is on the record saying it's consent. She went, like, on a media tour. She's like, but if that tape isn't out there, none of this, I don't think, happens. I don't know how, because people use that as the beginning. And there's no doubt, like, people are trying to seem like I'm some fucking crazy person because, like, maybe I have, like, kinky sex or, like, different fetishes or whatever, but they're not that fucking unusual. You go in any sex store in the world, like, you see the shit. And girls, I thought about this. It's very strange, and this is going to be an analogy that I don't know if even Gaz. It vaguely strikes me as, like, the Barstool Blackout Tour when we were getting protested, and we had, like, some feminists being like, Barstool's the worst, and some feminists being like, I love Barstool. We're getting into, like, a thing where these girls that I've hooked up with, like, don't have brains or something. Like, they're not making decisions. They are making decisions on themselves. They're a lot of times leading the fantasy. I think it's hot. I'm into it. But it's not like I'm forcing. These girls are, like, 19, 20, 21, and it's not like that's on the extreme young age, but these are like adults making decisions. You can go to war, you can vote, but you can't decide for yourself whether you want to have like sex with me and decide like, hey, I like the power dynamic and shit like that. Like girls like that. People like, I've seen it, like Dave choked a girl. I don't know if I've ever been with a girl who at some level is like, put your hand on my throat. Honestly, it's not like people are acting like this is something from fucking Mars.
Have you ever listened to an episode of Call Her Daddy, like for the first 40 episodes?
But it's like, oh my God, he choked me. It's like, like I have literally, and I don't know if it's going to have to get to this point of me like posting where girls are like, you aren't like rough enough. Like these girls are grown women. Like whether you want to say, what was that movie like? 50 Shades of Grey and shit. Like this is a real thing. I'm not acting out of pocket with these. This is like what they're telling me they like. And if they say they like it and I'm into it and it's two consenting grown adults, but then after it's like, he choked me. It's like, you asked. And it's horrible to like talk about it. But like, who are these people saying a girl can't, like I guess they're almost, it's like a catch-22. It's like these delicate flowers who aren't capable of making decisions for themselves and how they want to have sex with a man themselves. Well, yeah, they can, and they have, and they do, and it's fun, and we get along, like, and now I'm getting in trouble for it. It's like, I don't understand.
And Gaz, you can confirm that? You'd like to get the leash going a little bit too?
I haven't videoed anything. I haven't seen anything like that in my day, but...
I will never video again. I may never. Well, again, it's obviously Savant, but like I'm.
I was wondering that because we've talked about like slinging it on text message and versus like on like a Snapchat forum type of thing. But catch-22 is thank God you did, because then you could go back and be like, look at this. You know what I mean? Because then you could see the whole context.
And to be honest, I've said this. I got lucky that I had receipts because like with Silvana, I don't want anything. I just want to move on and like not look backwards and move forward. So it's like anything, it's like I delete shit. She knows it's just like anybody edits, just delete, get it out of the life, never talk to this person again. I didn't even know I had the receipts for that. The Allison girl. I was lucky I did.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it sucks to see you so downtrodden. It does.
Well, I've never had this. But that is the point. Like, there seems to be an argument, like a 20-year-old girl can't make up her mind for herself. Like, I don't know, and change the age of everything, I guess. I don't know where that's coming from. Like, I think they can, and they do.
Yeah, it's, I guess time will get it over with. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
there's really not much to say about it, right?
Right. No, I mean, this will be just another thing, I guess, and we'll see where it goes. And I mean, we'll survive it because nothing's happened, but it still sucks.
Yeah. Well, we could get into a couple Barstool news stories, and we could get out of here, and then we'll move forward with the show in weeks forward, hopefully. Lil Sass and Bryce Hall seem to have some type of beef. Where do you stand?
It's good for Little Sass. Just get that Bryce Hall like juice.
Lil Sass is pretty big in his own right, though.
I mean, compared to Bryce Hall.
Well, yeah, he's like I don't know the TikTok numbers and shit.
That would be like comparing, I guess, a single A team versus a major league team. I mean, they're nowhere in the same stratosphere.
Are you buddies with Bryce? Like, is that like?
I wouldn't say buddies. I feel like Mush knows him better than anybody.
Yeah. Is it Kareem? Do you have any background? Is this like actually serious?
I don't know. I think Sass was just kind of fucking with him, and then Bryce just takes everything seriously. Like, that's how we got in beef with Dave. Dave made a joke on BFFs about calling him like Sid the Sloth, and then Alex Cooper did that, I think. But then it transformed into something for like months.
By the way, did you see that part? You didn't mention that part. That one of the accusers was tied in with Mooj and Sophia?
Was that one of the two girls?
Yeah.
Or the third unnamed?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the two.
Yeah. Yeah, I did see that. And I think, I mean, like you said, it's almost like Skipper. When the moments come, like those people they're gonna grab their swords too, right?
Well, no, I mean, I think there's more to that. Like, that could have been where this girl came from.
Oh, like you're thinking possibly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
someone reached out to them. They're like, oh,
Well, I mean, Sophia went through her phase too, where it's like, you got dirt on Dave, you got dirt on Dave, you got dirt on Dave every fucking day. She followed, Mooj followed and liked her pictures. This was before any of this.
Any chance? I mean, obviously that would never happen with Mooj. Is Sophia? Is that a conversation that's out of the realm of possibility?
I think she's a certified liar, but I'd talk to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she was willing to lie when she was here. I mean, that was one of the all-time. They were going to frame us for like sexual, like, you know, discrimination or something when she was here. What?
Any word from Coop?
No, not really. She's off being
No.
huge.
Yeah.
She's kind of changed what her show's like her interview show.
Yeah.
What's the difference, Paul?
It's just not as like sexual. She's like, I feel like she's trending more towards like an Oprah or something. Like, you know what I mean? She's getting into more heavy discussions.
Maybe I should go on that show then.
Think she'd have you?
Maybe.
Didn't you have Haley Bieber on?
Yeah, she's had monster guests.
Emily Ratajkowski I saw was on.
Yeah.
But that's like, I mean, it's a monster show. But that, you know, you get the Spotify Rolodex with that. It's gonna change, right? Well, I saw he would fight a Rough and Rowdy. Is this something that could possibly happen, or
Who?
he's too expensive? Bryce.
Oh, if
has
we can
said
make it,
multiple
yeah.
times.
I don't know if we can make the finances work.
And then I also saw Big T and Rico. Quite the stream.
Yeah. Well, Rico's a crazy person, so. I mean, Big T's like just a lard of niceness. How can you have a problem with Big T? But he does. He has a problem with everybody.
Wasn't it the 220 hitter and all that kind of stemmed from?
Yeah.
He aligned with them?
He was with the Wolf Pack.
But you seem like you like to have Big T. Is Big T your new Nadu in house?
No. Big T's just a nice guy, and Rico's a psychopath.
I also saw Whitney and Che exchange some
Yeah, Che
words.
body bagged him. Che put him in a locker, stuffed him in a locker. Yeah, that was tough to see. Even Whitney knew it. He's like, Jesus, I got a family.
It would be in the Toronto Hall of Fame if they took his rookie year.
Yeah,
Brandon Walker, he fell down the stairs
I
carrying
saw that.
lasagna.
Walker's always about Walker. I mean,
I saw he went at Nate yesterday on the rundown. Did you see that clip?
a little bit of it. Yeah, they have a little beef. Like, I think it started on who's the most annoying or something.
The conversation
was over
around
Taylor,
Whitney
right?
Houston. Yeah, Whitney Houston and Taylor Swift. And then I think, what do you call him? He like described him as like an anteater or something. It was some weird description to call Nate.
Nate was not happy. I saw
No,
the
not
clip.
happy.
Where do you stand on that, Taylor Swift or Whitney Houston?
Who do I think is more talented?
Yeah.
Better singer, I think, was the argument. But
I'd go Whitney. But, I mean, they're both great. You got to throw Tina Turner in there, too. I love Gaga, yeah. They're all great. I don't know how you can get that, like, fired up about either one of them. I mean, they're both genuine, like, fucking bona fide generational stars.
the Swifties will come
Well,
after you, though, if you have even an ounce of an opinion that's against
I
Taylor
will
Swift.
say, we talked about this at Having 10. The Barstool people are spamming the Business Insider. You know how, like, Beyonce do little bumblebees and, like, the Taylor Swift do the snakes? Like, my crowd's just dropping pizza slices on everybody. It's very funny.
Every Business Insider Instagram post has like a million pizza emojis. It's very funny.
That's great. I did not know that. I don't know. I love Jake Gyllenhaal too. Yeah, you like Jake G?
As an actor?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not like, oh my God. What's the thing when he builds the rocket to the moon?
Something Sky, right? I don't know. I'm blanking out.
Yeah. What's your favorite Gyllenhaal movie? Spider-Man?
You see Nightcrawler?
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
He's in a Roland Emmerich movie, 2012. Not 2012. Day After Tomorrow. What was he? Was in the Gay Cowboy too? Wasn't he in that movie?
Yeah.
Brokeback
Mountain.
Mountain, yeah.
October Sky.
October Sky.
Southpaw.
Good movie.
Zodiac. He's been in a lot of good shit. Taking major heat. And then I also have the Cracking Aces.
Well, I don't
crew. It's all
even.
officially-
What was he getting heat for?
because he's like Taylor sings about him, right? Allegedly, I don't know what exactly.
They dated
the whole
for
story
like
is.
3 months 10 years ago, and the argument is that like she's still on his mind, or he's still on her mind 10 years later, and that's why people are trying to defend Jake. But I guess it was a short relationship. I don't know.
Who knows? I like Taylor too. She's got great music. You talked to Mincy. He got bounced from the WSOP too.
The entire poker crew did. Our poker crew is a joke.
Is the podcast going to live on?
Oh, they're such a joke. They say the same thing. Yeah, Nate's great when he gets quads every hand. Not as good. They don't do dick, all right? They get good cards, they do good. They get bad cards, they do bad, period.
The guy on the podcast, though, that I'm not sure if he works here, but Jake, I think his name is still in it.
Yeah, I
isn't he?
saw that. Yeah.
It's a shame that the piece came out, huh? Do you think you would have done better than them? You would have lasted longer if you would have played in it?
I wasn't planning on it. I was just going to go Sunday, then I had to go to the Steelers game. But 100% I would have lasted longer. I saw that Pittsburgh guy, like, bully the guy with Kings the other day. You wouldn't bully me with that shit. I mean, get the fuck out of here with that. You think I'm throwing my Kings down? No fucking chance, dude.
So where does Cracking Aces stand now? Because we brought them on in the summer.
They can do whatever
There was
they want. They're probably the one leaking these hit pieces, so I stay distracted. It's like they're just going to continue going on because I get other shit.
People keep hitting me up, too, being about this leak situation. Like higher-ups, thinking there is a real leak here. I saw Kareem last week said that you thought there was one. Some of the people that names that are getting thrown around, I couldn't believe it.
Leak?
Like someone's leaking to the press. Like
What?
inside
What
of
has
shit.
been leaked?
I don't know. There was that guy that was saying that, morale was low here. People were on eggshells, blah, blah, blah.
There's been nothing that has been leaked that's been, like, proprietary. It's like Dave coughed at the office. That guy got hired, I think, by Deadspin or Daily Beast, by the way.
The salon guy?
Daily Beast, yeah.
Yeah, the guy who wrote the report on me coughing.
That guy's the best.
There's been nothing that you couldn't figure out by watching my Twitter feed. Dave's upset. No shit.
There is a leak. I just don't think they're close enough to know anything.
What do you mean there's a leak? I don't think there is a leak.
Don't you think that will happen as we get bigger? There's 350 employees here now. People coming from all over the world, working on the business floor, not necessarily diehard stoolies that would be like friends with someone and say something.
Maybe.
I think those are ridiculous ones, but at some point...
I've lost all touch if somebody in my inner circle is a leak.
Yeah, I don't think someone...
So what,
down
like
here.
just walking down the hall, I coughed? Like, there's no real leak.
That's not to go back to the toxic thing, but like even that, it's like what you could say with toxic, like because Kirk freaks out on people. That's toxic. Like
100%.
but-
They've called us toxic forever.
But you know what? MTV Real World's probably a toxic place.
100%. Oh, well, like
we're a real world.
Like, I mean, Ellie Schnitt 100% could come back and say it's toxic. She got into it with Kirk. It was a toxic environment all the way around. By the way, she was in pictures with Julie Black.
Rico would probably say it's toxic around here.
100%. He threatened to go public on it being toxic.
I thought we can't talk about that situation.
Rico?
No. Who you just said was hanging out with Julia Black.
Well, I just saw it on her. It was a liked picture on her feed. That's all.
Oh. But you did say there's no advertisers pulled?
As not of now, but it's like if another piece comes out, does it matter if it's true? Like, or at some point as an advertiser, like how many times, like that's where they get you, you know? And that's where it's like sometimes I wish I was just sitting in milk. Like people don't understand. Like I do think about like the company. Like I'm always gonna be fine, but I don't think people they're so bloodthirsty for me, personally me. They don't think about like how many people you're affecting.
Do you think if you say in a world that you did leave, do you think those people would stop going after Barstool?
Yes.
Really? So you think it's all you?
Yeah. I do. Do you?
No, I think it's one of those things where if it's not you, it's someone else.
Really? Who?
Yeah.
Who?
I don't know, because then it becomes like the association thing where it's like,
I don't know.
you're...
I don't know. I think it's me. I don't know.
What do you think, Gaz?
No way. I mean, there's only one other person I can think here that is close to like what Dave is with like what he says, and that's Kirk. And Kirk's too far detached.
And
from here.
you come out for 10 minutes, put him in an insane asylum.
It wouldn't be the same level, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it would be like, oh, you're welcome into the club. Like, I don't think it would be hugs.
But this isn't a club.
You know what I mean?
I mean, there's a lot of people here that are friends with from people outside of.
The biggest misnomer is if like we're probably it's me and it definitely is crying wolf. Like I go on Tucker, I've done shit like that because the other people won't have me, and it definitely helps us grow one side of the aisle. But the reputation definitely, people think we're some crazy right wing thing. That's just not the case, and it's not even the case about me as much as I say it.
Has any of the left wing outlets reached out at all?
Nope.
The only time even Cuomo is the only time CNN Cuomo,
Yeah.
not the other guy.
Yeah. No, nobody's reached out.
Well, I mean, there's nothing you can do about that.
Nope.
Last thing I have here is it got lost in the shuffle as well, but Jeff Bezos just commenting on Twitter on the Barstool.
Yeah, he owns part of Business Insider, I think, too.
Does he really?
I think he does. A small amount. I thought he invested. Yeah, that was funny.
Can you get in with him? Can you?
I got to get in with. I feel like I got a lot of powerful people coming at me, and I don't have a lot of powerful people like helping me swing back.
Well, how do you get in there?
I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like you got to form a
Like
list
I'm
here,
still,
man.
as people always create this billions conspiracy. Like every day that goes by, I think there's like this coordinated assault, earnings day, all of it.
Are you getting a lot of like big support behind the scenes?
Yeah, yeah, sort of. Yeah. But they don't want to like publicly.
Yeah.
Like here, I'll show you one, but don't say it.
This is like last year when you were getting text messages from everyone during the Ja Rule gate.
Oh.
You want to just tell Eddie and we can bleep it?
Sure, we bleep it.
Yeah, maybe cover your mouth.
Ooh.
Can you say what he said?
Keep your head up, my friend. I said, you talking about my big bet on the Packers right now or the bullshit hit piece on me? Both are important. He said, laugh out loud. I got the Packers too, the BS hit piece.
Wow.
We got to get him here.
But people like...
We've tried. He didn't answer.
There's a lot of people. It's hard to... I'm the guy. I'm the sacrificial. That's what builds it, though. People are like, want to do what I'm doing, but it needs broad shoulders to like carry this.
Do you think you could change the world, like the social world? Like, I feel like a lot of people coming like behind the scenes being like, this is how to handle it. Like, did the pendulum swing just a little bit?
For now.
Yeah.
For now.
When's the Joe Rogan appearance happening?
I don't know. I asked to go on.
Oh, wow.
You did?
Yeah. Before I had more, I'm like, this is bullshit. I just want as many people to hear the truth. But they didn't get back to me.
No.
Nope.
Young Jamie, come on.
And I never ask. I've never asked to go on anything. Here I'm asking. It's like, put me on. I want to talk to people and tell my side.
Yeah, I don't know. It sucks.
Yep.
Anything else? Anything else in the woodwork? Anything?
No.
Oh, you found some.
Yeah.
You know, that made me laugh. I talked to your dad the day that it dropped, and how's everything? You know, he talked a little bit about it, and then after he's like, I just want to let you know that I know how to do Zoom. It's just I'm on an iPad and it's on a different corner of the screen. But I just want to let you know.
I keep asking my dad occasionally because I know how much he hates like the right, and rightfully so, the extremes. But these are like his crazy people coming after me. They really are.
What's his reaction?
These are my people.
It was great. We were talking about Curb. He was just he seemed to be in a great mood. But
Well, that's good.
all right, we're taking off for Thanksgiving. That's right.
Yeah, going back home. Yep. No,
For the whole
no
week?
show. Yep.
So straight up, Swampscott for the week.
No, for a couple days.
Oh, okay. Then Miami, you're going back to
I
New
don't
York?
know,
What are you
Eddie.
doing?
I don't know, Eddie. Let's see if I can survive a week without a fucking savage character assassination piece.
Well, well, have a good Thanksgiving, Dave.
Thank you. Bye.
That's it for today, everybody. We'll see you in 2 weeks. We'll be back to regular everything, hopefully. But, we'll see what happens.